Hey guys, Eerie is here, and in today's video I'm on the receiving end of the biggest pump that I think I've ever experienced in any racing game ever. But we're going to get to that one shortly. So as we start the race here, within touching distance of Cox up ahead as we start lap number 1, but keep your eye up ahead as the Spaniard makes hell corner absolute hell for PG Motorsport. In my amazement, I run wide myself, and the Spaniard there is up the inside, so I'm back down to 11th. PG, you're going to see in the top left there, is then going to quit, bringing the field down to just 19. Making our way down the mountain straight here towards Griffin's Bend, Cox is side by side up ahead with the Spaniard, and he's going to get himself on the outside, run wide and then lose the rear. He's going to collect the Spaniard up in front. A gap does open, but then I'm going to pull out. It would have been a poor choice to try it around the outside into the cutting on lap number 1. Now, as we make our way up and over the hill, you'll notice we're in the replay view here. Now, the reason for that is that the PlayStation 4 didn't actually capture it like it normally would. So that didn't work, and my Elgato hasn't been working for ages, so I was left with nothing but the replay view, unfortunately. But now I've fixed it, the Elgato that is, so you'll notice in future videos a jump actually from 30 to 60 FPS. Anyway, I digress. Coming down into Forest Elbow for the first time, we're following Cox quite nicely, but he's going to hold us up a little coming into Forest Elbow. So we're then squeezed out by Noblowski, a very British name there. He's going to chuck it up the inside, so we're coming side by side down the Conrod Straight. As we pass through the penalty gate, 10th and 9th both serve their penalties. We squeeze past the Spaniard, but then Cox is just going to drift and run us straight out of road. He's then going to come back across the track and cause a traffic jam. As we come down into the chase, I find myself in 11th. So again, not too much of an issue because it's where we started. We've managed to avoid all the normal issues that you'd expect here at Bathurst as we come down into the final corner, Murray's Corner, before we go on to the main straight to start lap number 2. So as we cross the line here, some more great racing is going to be on show here as the Brit up ahead tries it up the inside. Cox is going to turn in regardless. There's going to be contact, and I pass the Brit as he's lost all his momentum. Now at this point I'm sat in Cox's slipstream here as we come down the straight towards Griffin's Bend. I'm going to make him think that I'm going to go for a move by looking at it up the inside, but in reality there is no chance I'm going to try that one. After seeing the level of racecraft from that guy, I'm just going to try and follow him up and over the hill and get him down into the chase. So today we're making a rare appearance in the Nations Cup here on Gran Turismo Sport. Now this is because I enjoy Bathurst. I've done plenty of laps around it on both GT Sport and iRacing, so I thought I'd jump in for this one. Now the door number for us is 17, so it's a fast lobby as I'm still A+ currently, and I entered this one in the hope that I can have a clean one and start knocking off the door of the faster splits. As you can see, we're running 10th currently, so if I can bring something home inside the top 10, some good points should be on the cards. As you would have also seen, I haven't actually been able to stay with the Toyota here up and over the hill. He's actually got about a 1.5 second gap to us now, but it isn't anything in front of us that's about to become the issue. The title of the video refers to this part of the race, so if you love watching me getting my race ruined, and I think some of you secretly do, sit back and enjoy this one. I mean, wow, that there is vintage Gran Turismo Sport. I've had my back doors absolutely smashed in by my fellow countrymen there, and any chance of a decent finish, well, I think so anyway, is pretty much over. Jumping ahead to lap number 4 now, going back to the incident that I just showed you, this is why I want damage to come back, because if we had damage on, which is something I'm obviously a big advocate of, even though my race would and probably should be over because of the amount of contact that was involved. So would the person who actually smashed into us. Now, please bring this back, Polyphony Digital. It was changing behaviours before, and then it was taken away, and the incident that I've just showed is the exact reason, in my view, why we need it. But let me know in the comment section down below what you think. Should we bring damage back? Do you think it will stop people going for crazy moves? Let me know. I'm really keen because I, as I said, am a massive advocate of it, but I want to hear what you guys think. The yellows are out here coming down the hill. The Beetle, as you can see there, has come a cropper through the S's. So now we are up to 18th place, one off the very bottom, as we come through Forest Elbow here for the 4th time. And as you'll see, you can just about see the pack up ahead. The leaders are starting to come in now. We're on racing hards. I'm going to decide to stay out for as long as possible at this point. If I was still in the pack, I would have just gone with the flow, but as I'm at the back and I have to do something reasonably radical and different, I'm going to stay on these for as long as possible and then jump in for mediums with a few laps to go and try and take advantage of being on the softer compound at the end of the race. Rejoining the action on lap number 6 now. We're up to 12th, as you can see, because of the various tyre strategies that could be done in this one. Our racing hards there in the bottom left are really coming to the end of their life now. We're going to come in at the end of this lap to get some new boots on. Now, as we're struggling with our tyres, we're going to run wide here into Forest Elbow. We're going to get overtaken by a Lexus, or is that a Merc? And out of view alongside us is an actual Merc. As we come down the straight here, he's going to be so desperate to stay in the slipstream of the Lexus Merc in front that he's going to bump into us. We didn't actually change our course at all, but we had to get our elbows out to even stay on the track there. So we're now down into 14th, but I'm not too worried as we're not actually in the same race as them really. They're a pit stop ahead, so we shouldn't really be worrying about those. But what I am worried about is before the pit stops we were about 3 seconds behind the back of the pack, so those guys in 17th and above, so it's going to be interesting to see where we come out. So after having a top up of fuel and putting on some new boots, we're just going to come out in 18th. Now, not all is lost is because we're on the medium tyre as we had planned to and only have laps 7, 8 and 9 to do on them. So I'm going to try and get my head down here and then hopefully we'll be in a position to pick a couple of them off in the very closing stages. Coming across the line to start the 8th and penultimate lap, you can see up ahead the gap is visibly closing. Coming across the line to start the final lap then, the gap, as you can see, has closed right up now. And in a bittersweet moment, I actually set the fastest lap of the race. Now that's not bad for car number 17 in the lobby. It shows what could have been had I been able to avoid getting punted. Making our way down the mountain straight here, I'm actually going to put in an even faster first sector, so we're flying comparatively. Now, I'm just outside of the slipstream of the guys ahead though, but hopefully they should start holding each other up as they battle coming up and over the hill. I say hill, it's a mountain, up and over the mountain, which should, I hope, get us in a position to make a move in the closing stages of this lap. You can see up ahead there's a big queue of cars falling. There's, I think it's from about 14th, and you can even see 13th. So from 13th backwards is potentially on the cards here. Now, they're in a long train, and I don't expect, knowing the standards of driving in GT Sport, for them all to be able to keep it on the black stuff, or not in this case because it's more of a closed circuit, to keep it out the barrier. So we're coming to Forest Elbow for the final time as expected. Contact, so we're up to 17th now, We haven't got much fuel left either. We've done well to time, but we should have enough, and I'm just going to sit in the slipstream. Someone else there has a penalty. I presume that's for the hit on the guy coming through Forest. Elbow there for the final time, so actually Knob hit Cox there. You make of that what you will. So coming into the chase here for the final time, more contact. The BMW is off after being hit by the Mitsubishi. We're going to go down the outside of him here. I don't know what happens, but he lifts out of it as well. And then we're finally behind two Brits, one of which gets a terrible exit and then pulls over and lets me through because I think he was the one who made contact earlier on. So after all that, thankfully I remain at A+. I've only lost about 350 driver rating points, which is quite amazing considering the punt that occurred. But for now guys, that is going to be the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.